Hello everyone and welcome to this forecast for the Virgo full moon. It's on February 27th in the early morning, at least here in Northern Europe. And full moons in general are about completion, revelation, or perhaps illumination, as the full moon is really lighting up the night, lighting up the opposite side of the chart of the sky that the sun is illuminating, and putting something into motion. It's the blooming of the lunar cycle. In a way, this is also the 1-year anniversary of lockdown and implementation of restrictions here in Northern Europe. The full moon in Virgo of last year, of March 9th, was exactly opposite. The sun was conjunct Neptune and the moon was exactly opposite. And we got this more like health scare energy, the hypochondriac of of Virgo, because Virgo is as a sign is concerned with our health and doing everything right and being very proper. And so suddenly everyone became very concerned with washing their hands, for instance. But this year, the sun hasn't joined up with Neptune yet, so the full moon in Virgo is happening quite a bit away from Neptune. So it's a really different energy this year. First of all, I would say that, the moon in Virgo in itself can be a little bit cold, hard, maybe more logical and analytical when it comes to moon things, such as your emotions. The moon in Virgo is more like, yes, I'll do what's right. I'll follow all the rules, I'll follow all the regulations, because that's the sensible thing to do. But on a deeper level, Virgo is actually kind of ruled by the moon, because what happens, it's this image of the Virgin, of this pure perfect image. And that's why Virgo is also about finding all the little details that aren't working and making sure they do. But what happens afterwards, the evolution of this image of the Virgin, is that she is becoming the mother. So Virgo is going around looking at all these little things that aren't working, because she's blessed with the power of discernment and seeing all the things that could work better. And with this, she becomes pregnant with something to fix all this, something useful. She is becoming pregnant and later birthing something perfect, something that will help the world work better. So at this full moon, I think that, it's on one level, it could represent that we are moving more fully into this new age of Aquarius. We have been dealing with restrictions for a long while now, and we've been feeling this frustration of the Saturn-Uranus square for a while. The tension between the stabilizing forces, the old regime, and the rebellious of the people, perhaps more on the outside of the establishment. Or the people that have been disenfranchised. And I think that as these restrictions in a lot of places are creating a lot of frustrations, are creating difficulties for a lot of people, we're sort of pushing more people into disenfranchisement. And a lot of more people are becoming rebellious, or, being pushed out of safety and security. So it will be more of a higher body count pushing against the establishment. But for other people who are able to, and are motivated to make adjustments, this Virgo full moon can be one of those implementation times of putting something into motion that more works with this new regime that we're moving into, the new world order, because the old isn't coming back. The sun in Pisces is super, it's more like this very sensible Virgo moon is opposing the sun. So the sensibility and, I need to follow all the rules is being opposed by this Pisces sun that wants to party, wants to enjoy, wants to escape from all of these restrictions, from the mundane, from the world, and wants to party. The sun is also almost joined by Venus in her sign of exaltation, and she's right there. She wants to party, she wants to connect, she wants to have fun, and so having Venus there is a nice thing for us, and I am expecting to have for all of us to have a little bit of an easier time when it comes to connecting, when it comes to romance, when it comes to hopefully money as well, because those are the significations of Venus. So, but the one major thing that is aspecting this this full moon quite a lot closer than the Sun-Venus conjunction, which is it's closing up for they're gonna move closer together still for a while. But the one thing really aspecting this full moon is Uranus and Taurus, and he's making a sextile and to the sun in Pisces and a trine to the moon in Virgo. And I think that this is really this liberation from the mundane, putting something into motion or into reality that liberates in accordance with the new world that is becoming reality. So it's the square from Saturn to Uranus is still very much in effect. We will have it all year. We've just had one of the peaks, of course, when Mars triggers later in June, July, and November. We will have flare-ups of what we saw more earlier in February and in January. But with the trine, it perhaps to the moon, it can feel a lot easier. It can be, a stroke of inspiration that you can put into action, that you can actually that will help you move forward, that will help you perfect something. Uranus can also be experienced as a stroke of inspiration. The other thing I wanted to talk about are some inconjunctions that are aspecting this moon. They're coming from both Chiron in Aries and Saturn in Aquarius. And the inconjunction aspect, the inconjunct, is quite an interesting aspect. Of course, an aspect means to see. The inconjunction signifies two energies that are, in a way, incompatible. So it's associated with longing because, we're longing for something completely different, and it's also called the large thinking aspect. So it's a problem that we're trying to solve that seems unsolvable. So it signifies this deeper thinking, this like pondering of deeper issues related to these two other planets of Chiron, of Saturn. So with Moon Saturn in conjunct, I think that this is really about trying to make something work in this world that is so different from what we're really used to. We're sitting down, being the moon in Virgo, and thinking about how can we make things actually happen? Using our Virgo is a very intelligent sign. It has a lot of knowledge and it has a lot of skill. So it's like, how can I apply my skills to make something useful, something new in this new world order? The inconjunct to Chiron is a little bit more perhaps personal, because Chiron and Aries I'm really seeing as looking at how it wasn't okay to be yourself, because Chiron represents the wounded healer and our wounds. So as he's transiting through Aries, he will dig up all the situations where it wasn't okay for you to be yourself. And with the moon in Virgo saying, how can we find something here? How can we actually heal these issues? And it's not really a solution there yet, but it's perhaps the starting of a process that will go on for a long time. I hope you all get some amazing new insights from the trine from Uranus, and perhaps a start of finding some solutions to all the new problems the world has dealt us. Happy full moon in Virgo, and see you all next time.